let's talk about debt. So, lots of political parties out there like to talk about not carrying debt on to our grandkids. Love it. I also agree. Absolutely. There's no reason to not have balanced budgets and make sure that we aren't making them pay off our fiscal debt. Now, what about a resource or environmental debt? Is that fair to pass on to our grandkids? I don't think so. Can't imagine you do either. So, the problem that I have sometimes is that why don't enough of the political parties talk about that resource environmental debt? For instance, here in BC, we've got an unbelievable space. Over 90% of it is owned by us, the public. And for example, it's one of his biggest drivers is the forestry industry. And there's a lot of jobs there. And they make an awful lot of pulp and paper and wood. Awesome. But it's out of balance. As in, there's a debt. The resource extraction has an impact on wildlife values. And so, essentially, the books for our public space is out of balance and therefore in debt to something. Now, maybe it is in your neck of the woods too, whether it's oil and gas extraction or forestry or something. Maybe you should demand a little bit more from your political parties. Because here, fiber is starting to take a precedence over, well, most of the other stuff. Elk, mule deer, mountain caribou, they don't do well in a forest that's driven by fiber production. They do well in a forest that has higher influence of fire, a more diverse range of species in the forest. So that's a debt I would like to see that doesn't get passed on to my grandkids. So that's today's rant. If you agree with what I'm saying, say so. Leave me a comment. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, say so. Leave a comment. Constructive, please. And subscribe. I don't do these very often, but sometimes you just maybe it'll be a new rant series. Thanks. See you around.